Hey, what's going on? We're back together again, and we have Spawn Batman crossover one of whatever. Who knows? They don't know, but we're gonna get another one. So, what'd you think?
This was a great book for me because it had excellent artwork. Other than that, it was pretty jacked up. I don't know what direction they wanted to go in this book, but I do know this. It feels like it's continuity. They brought up his Spawn's team. You saw Gunslinger Spawn, and you saw the Bat family, and it's like, yo, if this is continuity, when is this happening? Okay, because it's recent, and the Court of Owls. It's like to have the story be based upon Al Simmons thinking Batman had something to do with his wife and her soul don't sound right. I mean, it just don't sound right. So, I mean, hey, this was a wild story. But hey, look, whenever you got the Court of Owls, especially in a book that is centered around Spawn, yeah, I think it's gonna be wild. I think it's gonna be wild. I remember the two crossovers back in the day with Batman and Spawn. That was great. You know what I'm saying?
They were okay.
Well, I mean, it was a closed.
But that's when they were doing. It was a closed thing.
Yeah.
And that's what was best about it. I mean, that's when they were doing, Batman and Judge Dredd, Judge Dredd versus the Alien, Superman versus Alien and Predator. Yeah.
I mean, it had too many things in it that made me think this is continuity, and I think that's.
I mean, I was excited for this, but I mean, I knew the two past ones weren't as good. Mm-hmm. I don't think this was that good. I think this was very overhyped and everything, and I wasn't even excited for it when it was announced. I mean, let me say this: I was okay. I'm gonna get that and read it.
Yeah.
But this wasn't the first thing I read whenever I picked it up. There was a lot of covers, obviously. A lot of the covers I felt looked the same. Mm-hmm. They were different variations of the same image.
Yeah.
The idea that I felt like they were just throwing too much. The idea that Batman's mom and dad's death is the same day as Wanda's was too much. I mean, they took everything that was cool and threw it in one book. Okay, people like Spawn, and they like Batman. What else do they like? They like the Joker, so he's going to be in here. They like the Clown, so we're going to put him in here for no reason. And what was the biggest Batman story to happen in the past 5-6 years? Court of Owls. Let's put them in there too. And just, they're here, so you'll like it. Yeah. That's what we got. There was really no context to anything.
And they had dead zones for Spawn's
power.
Yeah,
and I felt like if they were going to have... dead zones are cool in the Spawn world, but in this world, it doesn't make sense. And Batman being, like, new to this and whatever, that whole dumb dialogue that they had where they killed Superman in his world, like, no, like, we don't even hear about that in the Spawn universe. It's stupid. Leave that alone. I thought the artwork is fantastic, but I mean, what do you expect when you have Greg Capullo and McFarlane working together? The Joker thing was okay. The Clown and the Joker working together again, sweet. We'll probably get another one of these next year. I just felt like this could have been. I feel like this with Spawn doing so much better and having so much more to read now. You could have done so much more with this than what this was. I mean, for a one shot at $8, I think this was more expensive because I have the plastic cover. It was okay. It did let me down. It did let me down.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you're a Batman Spawn fan, if you're a Greg Capullo fan, if you like that old school artwork from the first New 52 one, I shouldn't say new school artwork, that came out in 2012. Yeah. But if you like that stuff, this is a book for you. It's a throwaway. I mean, I don't think it's kind of like any other big crossover that we had from the 90s and the 2000s. No one's really talking about it now, and there's a reason. A lot of these crossovers don't work. No one's really talking about it.
Okay.
What's a crossover that's really relevant today that we talk about?
Wildcats.
With who?
With everybody.
They're not crossing over with anybody.
Yeah, they did.
They're owned by DC. Well, when they all got killed by the alien, that was cool.
So I think back in the 90s when they did the crossovers were relevant, especially with.
I mean, I'm saying now.
But now, I mean,
I'm saying now. No one right now.
Yeah.
No one is going. Yo, that like I need to go get that. Like it's not nobody.
Oh, okay.
Nothing. It's not. They don't stand the test of time. I think that maybe that's a better way to say it.
Well, for the ones now, it's hard because everything's so saturated, and not only is it crossovers, but it's crossovers with storylines that are complex, and they may not be as good because they're so complex.
Yeah, they should have just made this a fun book, but they didn't. But overall, let us know what you guys thought of Spawn and Batman, or Batman and Spawn, and let us know what you thought of it. Did you like this one better than the ones from the 90s, the past two we had? So, yeah, let us know.
Yeah. Peace.